Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 34th President of Kentucky Wesleyan College, Dr. Bart Darrell.
I've got so many people I'd like to thank for coming, and if I start, I won't be able to finish. I won't be long. The path that has brought me to this podium with a few great people is a stranger. And I could not be more honored, and I do accept the appointment as the next president of Kentucky Wesleyan College. What does Kentucky Wesleyan mean to me? You heard Jack mention that it kind of goes back a long time. It does. We did move from Texas to Owensboro for Kentucky Wesleyan, and it's been a part of my life and my family's life ever since. When I came on the job here as the Vice President of External Services, one of the things I found out real quickly, actually I believe within my first couple of weeks here, is I realized just how much pride I actually have in this place. And how many have some music students here? Raise your hand. Who's in the choir? Okay. It's your fault. The choir was finishing up their choir tour, and their last stop was in to save embarrassment for people, was in a large city, not in Kentucky, somewhat south, 2 hours. And had a very nice church, a very nice area in Tennessee. And I decided to go. And so I went down and I met with the minister before the service, and they were going to be in place with the choir that day. And I thanked him for the opportunity for our students to perform in this beautiful sanctuary. And he was very nice to me. He said, "Oh, well, you know, we just kind of like to let kids have a chance in this great church." I thought, he doesn't know what he's getting ready to hear. And I accommodated him and humored him and went out and sat on the front row because I had to speak before the service. And you all don't know this, so don't take this too personal. But the minister of music there came over and started speaking with the lady behind me on the second row. And she said to him, "I guess you like these days when some of these choirs come in because it's kind of like a day off for you." And he said, "Well, not really. Our choirs are really, really good, and we kind of have to work with some of these choirs that come in." And I thought, he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm starting to get a little angry. With the lawyer in me, I kept my mouth shut. Play on with it. And then the choir sang their first moment. The minister then got back up in the pulpit, and you all remember this. He turned around and looked at you, and he said, "Wow." Mm-hmm. And the lady behind me tapped me on the shoulder, and she said, "You know, we pay the Belmont University choir members to sing in our choir, and they can't touch your kids." Mm-hmm. And I said, very diplomatically, "We hear that kind of thing a lot." Thank you for that opportunity. What did Kentucky Wesleyan College do for me? It did everything for me. I tell people all the time, if you're a freshman here in this room, you came to my office, you probably heard this talk. But everything that I've been able to accomplish professionally in the practice of law and other areas of education, I take back to Kentucky Wesleyan College. No question about it. When I started law school, I got in the room at the University of Louisville, and the dean stood up and congratulated us on being accepted, and then told us a third of us were going to be flunked out. I was really questioning my judgment at that point in life. And I started thinking, well, what possible advantage do I have? And then when this one fellow on the far end, as part of the process, stood up and introduced himself and said his name was Winston Smith IV. And for those of you who understand this kind of thing. When you get past 3, you got to watch out. My grandfather was a federal judge. He graduated top 5% of his class at Stanford. I thought, well, there's one that's going to make it. How do I do this? And then I remembered something. My last semester at Kentucky Wesleyan College, I needed 3 more hours of religion. Some of you would say I needed a lot more. 3 more hours to graduate. The only class available to me, because I was working in the maintenance department at Texas Gas Transmission Corporation at night, was a class in the afternoon, and it was an upper level religion class, okay? Everybody in there was smart and going to seminary but me. And I will confess to you right here and now, I'm glad we're not in the Tapscott Chapel, but I didn't read much of that. And I was just trying to get my degree and get to law school. Most of you remember Dr. Tom Rogers, highly acclaimed biblical scholar and religion professor, Harvard trained. He's asking questions that day about the reading assignment. And none of these brilliant seminary students are getting it right. We were on the 3rd floor of the administration building, and Dr. Rogers got upset. And those of you who remember him, he always had the suit coat buttoned, impeccably dressed in a booming voice, and he went over to the window, raised the window, and climbed up in the windowsill. And he started looking around the room, and he said, I'm going to ask one more person. If I don't get the answer I'm looking for, I'm jumping. I'm not making this up. Dr. Rogers didn't come in the room. And then I thought, oh, Dr. Rogers, I promise you that you do not want to do what you're getting ready to do. He locked on the business major. Mr. Darrell said, as I've already told you, I didn't really know what we were doing in the first place. I'm not sure reading that would have helped me all that much. And I made up some answer. I think it had to do with Noah's Ark. He paused for a minute at the windowsill and he said, close enough. What does that have to do with Kentucky Wesleyan College and University of Louisville Law School my first day? Everything. Because I realized when I thought about Winston Smith IV, what Kentucky Wesleyan had done for me, they put me in a position where I had had the experience of holding the life of a Harvard-trained religion professor in my hands. Law school was very little pressure for me. I also had a professor, and let me say this to the students in particular. You have unbelievable faculty. Unbelievable. I lived it. I know it. Listen to them. They will get you where you want to go. I promise you. One of mine was Professor Arthur Chesler, who taught statistics and economics and finance. He was really, really hard on me. I'll tell you, there's most days I didn't like him all that much. I went to law school, and everybody was scared of one professor. And he would make you stand up, and he would rip you apart. And this guy from Northwestern undergrad was talking about it. He said, I can't handle this guy. He's awful. And I said, you don't know what it is. Come to Owensboro, Kentucky. Let's go meet Arthur Chesler. This guy doesn't scare me at all. I went back later. I found Professor Chesler. And I said, I need to thank you for what you did. You did what you needed to do for me. And he smiled. If you knew Professor Chesler, he had on the same long white sweater with the long sleeves. Mm-hmm. He smiled and he said, I knew where you were going. I knew where you were going. I never forgot that. And that's what your professors know about you. They know where you're going. Listen to me. A lot of people have asked me when I made the change full-time to Kentucky Wesleyan College, they said, why did you leave? Why did you leave a 25-year law practice to go full-time into higher education? Kentucky Wesleyan College. And the answer is easy. There's actually two parts to it. The first one's very easy. I wouldn't anywhere else but Kentucky Wesleyan College. Second, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I want to serve at a school that has produced, as far as Kentucky goes, Kentucky colleges go, one of only two United States Supreme Court justices, producing executive producer for CNN, produced a talent coordinator for The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, produced countless doctors, lawyers, ministers who have changed spiritual lives across the Commonwealth and other places, professional basketball players, authors, Major League Baseball players. Why, in fact, we even took a freshman tuba player and turned him into one of only a handful who was accepted to Boston Conservatory for opera. Why would I not want to be here at Kentucky Wesleyan College? This place is great. It's going to be greater. Here's what I believe. I believe that you do not have to spend $50,000 a year and graduate in the top 5% of your class and score the top 5% on the ACT and the SAT to become a great doctor, a great lawyer, a great teacher, a great minister, a great accountant. You don't have to do that. We do it every day with every type of kid you can imagine. Harvard, Duke, and Stanford have yet to prove to me they can do that. We do it every day. Your school is better than theirs that way. Believe it. Believe it. You're in the right place. That is Kentucky Wesleyan College. That is what we do. There are a few people that I do want to thank and recognize. First of all, I want to thank the speakers. My goodness, it's very fine here. Jen, I'm really glad no one asked me much. I'm glad. So they had me. I'm glad they did. But certainly I want to thank my father, Dr. Bart Darrell, who is the Darrell Plus Center, who brought us to Kentucky and is one of the backbones of this institution. I do want to thank my law partners at Delaware and Moore, who, while I was practicing law for 25 years, also gave me the freedom to venture out into education and higher education. I want to thank my friends from the Warren County Public Schools. I've worked with so closely over the years. And not only do they do great things for kids, they actually are sending quite a few our way right now. We appreciate that. And I do want to thank the Board of Trustees. I want to thank the faculty, the administrative staff, and most of all, I want to thank the students. Because of all the reasons that I've talked about being here, it is you. It's all about you. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support here today. So, without any further ado, I'm going to sit down. Though before I sit down, I want to take a special opportunity to thank my friend, Dr. Greg Turner, personally. You have laid the framework for the greatest days in the history of this college, and I'm honored to succeed you. And as far as the folks in the media are concerned, I'll be sticking around and I'll answer any questions that you might have. But I do want to again thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. You're the greatest. God bless you, and God bless Kentucky Wesleyan College. Thank you.